با سلام، زهرا دلاور هستم و قراره در این آموزش از فردرس درس یکم گرامر سطح ایوان یعنی Simple Present of the Verb to be رو با هم بررسی کنیم. Here I want to talk about form of the verb. Some words are nouns. Now I want to talk about common nouns and proper nouns. Words like student, hospital and table refers to general items. When I say student, you don't know which student I'm talking about. It is true about hospital and table. But what about proper nouns? Jack, Millet Hospital, Tehran, and Iran. When I say Millet Hospital, you know which hospital I'm talking about. There's another difference between them. Look at them. When we use proper nouns, we have to capitalize them. But it's not true about common nouns. Some words are verbs. Verbs describe actions or states. Words like go, come, and sit. Some words are adjectives. Adjectives describe nouns. Words like good, nice, and red. Some words are adverbs. Words like slowly and carefully that describe verbs. Now I want to talk about subject pronouns. I refers to singular first person. You refers to second person, but it can refer to one person or a group of people. We refers to first person, but a group of people. They refers to a group of people. He refers to a male. She refers to a female. And it refers to a thing. Now, here we want to talk about singular form of verb be. Look at this example. I am Zahra Delavar. First check when we have to use verb be. When we are talking about people's name, jobs, or their age. You are an artist. It is a table. Let's check the form. The sentences start with a subject and then we need a verb. If we use I as a subject, we have to use am. You are. He is. It is. She is. And here we use noun. In a first sentence, we have a proper noun. Look, before that, there isn't any article. But about artist and table, because they are common nouns, we have to use article a or an, because they are singular nouns. Let's check contractions. You can see normal form of each sentence here. I am a teacher. What is a contracted form? I'm a teacher. You are student. You're student. He's an athlete. He's an athlete. She is a girl. She's a girl. It is a book. It's a book. Now I want to talk about articles a and an. I told you when we are talking about a singular common noun, we have to use them. But when we have to use a, look at this example. A teacher. Teacher start with a consonant. Then we have to use a before that. A door. A coat. Here we have some exceptions. A university. U is not a consonant, but listen carefully. University. University. You don't hear sounds like a, e, o, a, u, or e. Then you hear as a consonant or a one-eyed pirate. It starts with o, but what is a sound of that? One. A one-eyed pirate. And look at this one, an artist. artist start with a vowel. An athlete, athlete. An egg, Here we have some exceptions. An hour, it starts with H, but what is the first sound you can hear? Hour. Then we have to use an. Or here, MP3 player. What is the first sound you hear? M, It is true about some acronyms. And an honor. You can hear honor. Then be careful about the sound of first part of each word. Now, I want to talk about plural statements with verb be. We are teachers. We refers to a group of people. Then I'm not allowed to use a or an before the noun. I have to use plural form of noun. Then I add s here. We are teachers. You are writers. Again, I told you refers to both a person or a group of people. In plural statements, it refers to a group of people. Then I have to use plural form of the noun. And they are athletes. I told you they can refer to a group of things and a group of people. They are tables. Let's check the form. They start with a subject. We, you, they. And then we need be, are, and noun. You can see. But which type of nouns? We need plural form of nouns. Then we have to add s or es. Let's check contractions. Here we have normal forms of the examples. And let's check contracted forms. We are teachers. We're teachers. You are riders. You're riders. They are athletes. They're athletes. Now I want to talk about plural noun rules. Some nouns are regular. Then we easily add s at the end of them. Like this: car, cars, book, books, apple, apples, house, houses. But if a noun ends in s, sh, ch, x, or z, we have to add es. Boss, bosses. Or here match, ch, then matches. Dish, dishes. Box, boxes. Quiz, quizzes. If a noun ends in vowel and y, like this, we have to add s. Day, a vowel and y. Days. Or key, vowel, y. Keys. It is true about these examples too. But if a noun ends in consonant and y, we have to add es. Baby. B is a consonant. What happened here? We have to change the y to I and then add es. Country, countries. We change the y to I and then add es. Story, stories. Some nouns end in vowel and o. What about them? We have to add s. Like this: vowel and o. Zoos. Vowel and o. We add s. Or vowel and o. But some nouns end in consonant and o. Then we have to add es. Words like hero, heroes, echo, echoes, tomato, tomatoes. and here. But there are some exceptions. Words like photo. Although it ends in consonant and O, we don't add es. We just add s. Or piano. We just add s. Or here. Consonant and O. But we just add s. If a noun ends in f or fe, we add ves. Leave. We change the last part of that. We delete f, then add ves. Leave, leaves. Wolf. We delete f and add ves. Wolves. Life, lives. It ends in fe. Knife, knives. But this rule is not true about all nouns. There are some exceptions. Words like roof, cliff, believe and chief. We just add s at the end of them. Some nouns are irregular. For example, man. We don't add s or es. The plural form of that is men. What about child, children, person, people, foot, feet, mouse, mice, tooth, teeth. But look at these nouns. Here we have singular forms and plural forms. But there isn't any difference between them. You can see species, species here. And this is true about fish and series. Be careful. This es is not plural es. They have the same form for singular and plural. Now we want to talk about negative form of the verb be. I am not Martha Jefferson because I'm Zahra Delaware. You are not an actor. It is not a table. Let's check the form. They start with a subject. Then we have be. I am. You are. He is. She is. It is. And then we have not. Exactly this word make the statement negative. And then noun. You can see I am not. You are not. It is not. Let's check contractions. They are normal forms and they are contracted forms. I am not a teacher. What is a contracted form? I'm not a teacher. But look at the second example. You are not student. We have two different forms. You are not a student or you aren't student. What happened? In the first example, we contract the verb be. But in a second example, we contract not. But it is not true about am. We can say I amn't. The only form is I'm not. What about he? He is not an athlete. He is not an athlete or he isn't an athlete. She is not a teacher. She's not a teacher or she isn't a teacher. It is not a book. It's not a book or it isn't a book. Now, look at this one. We are not teachers. Now we want to talk about plural form of be and the negative statements. You are not writers. They are not athletes. They are not tables. What is the form? They start with a subject. we, you, they. As all of these subjects refer to a group of people or things, we have to use are, and, then not, and the plural form of noun. Let's check contractions. We are not teachers. We're not teachers, or we aren't teachers. You are not riders. You're not riders, or you aren't riders. They are not athletes. They're not athletes, or they aren't athletes. Now we want to talk about yes-no questions. Look at this sentence. You are a teacher. If I want to use this sentence to make a yes-no question, what happened? Are you a teacher? That's enough to replace the subject with the verb of be. Look at this one. He is an athlete. I can replace is and he to make a yes-no question. Is he an athlete? They are teachers. I replace are with they. Then I have, are they teachers? Let's check the form. Yes-no questions start with be, am, is, or are, and then subject and noun. What about short answers? Are you a teacher? If the answer is yes, I have to say yes, I am. And if the answer is no, I have to say no, I'm not. What is the form? Yes, subject and be. No, subject and be plus not. Like this. I'm not. Now, look at this exercise. I, a rider. I is a subject. A rider is a noun. Then, I need a verb. As the subject is I have to use am. She, a pilot. Again, a correct form of be. As the subject is she, we have to use is. Alex and Tanya, riders. Here we need a verb. Because I'm talking about two people, then I have to use are. They, Evan and Philip. This is a yes-no question. Look at the answer. Then I have to start it with a verb. Are they Evan and Philip? Yes, they are. And a chef. Are you a chef? Because here in the answer we have a subject I. We notice the subject in a yes-no question is you. Yes, I am. And let's check this. Is Tom? Is he Tom? No, the answer is negative. Then I have to write no, he isn't. But this part is positive or affirmative. He is Michael. Here we have another yes-no question. You, Laura and Judith. Are you Laura and Judith? Yes. But be careful about the subject. We are. A change in answer. Is she an architect? No, she isn't. No, she isn't. Now I want to talk about possessive nouns. Look at these examples. She is Marta's student. They are Martin and Ted's friends. Possessive nouns show ownership. Marta's student. Martin and Ted's friends. What is the form here? If we want to have a possessive noun, we have to add s and apostrophe to a noun. Like this, Marta, apostrophe and s. Martin and Ted, apostrophe and s. And Most of the time after a possessive noun we have another noun, like this, student or friends. Be careful. No matter how many nouns we have here, when we have a list here, just we add apostrophe and s to the last word, not to each noun, just the last one. And we have possessive adjectives. Martha is Miss Taylor's student. If I don't want to mention Miss Taylor, I have to use something instead of that. I use possessive adjective. Martha is her student. Edward is Mr. Jason's boss. Instead of Mr. Jason, I use his. Edward is his boss. She's Emily and Jack's teacher. Instead of Emily and Jack, I use their. I am Linda's teacher. Then she is my student. You are my student. I'm your teacher. We are Martin's neighbor. Martin is our neighbor. What is the difference between a possessive noun and a possessive adjective? Here we mention people's name. Exactly, we use a noun and apostrophe and s, but here we use possessive adjective and a noun. Let's do this exercise together. Mr. Curry is my or I colleague. I have a subject here. Then I is not the answer. I have to choose my. My is a possessive adjective. And after that, we use a noun. Monica is Kyle or Kyle's sister. Here, we want to talk about ownership. Then, we have to use possessive noun. Kyle's sister. Here, his or his an architect. We have to use this one because the sentence doesn't have a subject and a verb. And here, are you or your Barry's friend? This is a yes/no question. After the verb, we need a subject. Are you Barry's friend? John is Mrs. Cross's student. John is, instead of Mrs. Cross, we have to use her. And this one. Mr. Drake is not Jim and Sue's teacher. He is, instead of Jim and Sue, we have to use their. He is their doctor. Now I want to talk about information questions. What is your name? When is your birthday? What is the difference between information questions and yes/no questions? In yes/no question, you are given some information and you have to say they are true or not. Then you answer with yes or no. But in information questions, it is different. You are not given any information. You are asked to talk about some information. What is your name? My name is. When is your birthday? It is. What is her address? Who is their teacher? Where is the bank? Let's check the form. They start with WH word. Words like what, when, where, who. Although it doesn't start with WH, we can use it to start a question. And verb, the correct form of be. And finally, we have to write the subject, your name, her address, the bank, your birthday, their teacher. Let's talk about contraction. What is can be contracted to what's. When is when's. Who is whose. Where is where's. But look at this one. What are. We are not allowed to contract what are, or when are, who are, or where are. There isn't any contracted form for each one. Now I want to talk about how old. How old is your friend? We use how old to ask about somebody's age. How old are her classmates? How old is he, she, or your father? How old are they, you, we, or her classmates? And look at this one. Are you from Russia? No, I'm not. When we want to ask about someone's nationality, we can use are and from. This is yes/no question form. But look at this one. Where are you from? This is information question form. We can ask these two questions to talk about someone's nationality. Where are you from? I'm from Iran. Are you from Russia? No, I'm not. Let's check the form. Yes/no question form. It starts with be. Then we have a subject and the word from. And here we have a name of country. What about information question? Where, be, subject and from. We can contract where is two words, but I told you we are not allowed to contract where are. Now, where is the ball? Look at the picture. It's in the box. It's on the box. It's under the box. It's next to the box. It's behind the box. It's in front of the box. It's between the box. Now I want to talk about other prepositions of place. At. When we are talking about specific locations, we have to use at. For example, at the store, or when we mention the number of house and the street. Now, I use on to talk about avenues and streets on the first floor or even floors on Main Street. We use in to talk about countries, cities or neighborhood in Iran, in Tehran. When we are talking about a larger parts or locations or places, we use in. For smaller, we use on. And when we are talking about specific locations, we use at. What about time prepositions? When is the play? It's, for example, at 5 p.m. Here, when I'm talking about a longer period of time, I have to use in. For example, centuries, decades, years, month, or weeks. In 3 weeks. In June. In 2016. In the 80s. In the 1900s. And we use on to talk about days. For example, weekdays on Monday, on October 11th, on New Year's Eve, and at to talk about hours, at 5, at 12 o'clock. Let's check in. I told you we use it to talk about centuries in the 21st century, or in 1990, in July. We use it to talk about seasons too. For example, in summer, we use in with the morning, the afternoon, the evening. What about on? We use it with days of the week. On Monday, or dates, on the 21st or on July 21st, or on Christmas Day, on my birthday, or on New Year's Eve. What about at? I told you we use it for specific time at 2 o'clock.